Hello and welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, my whips, some yarn acquisitions and some more knitting things. My name is Ellie, I am from Austria and this is episode number 17. I'm so happy you could join me again. How are you? I hope you're really well. A few things before we start. I am really sorry about the lighting. The weather's been crazy. It has been raining this morning and now it's sunny and it's been snowing, it's been all over the place. I tried to eliminate the light change as much as possible, but this is the only setup that I could come up with where it's not too bad. I hope this will work. I really hope so. I started this like 3 times now, so I just have to make do with this. The second thing, I look a bit like Albert Einstein. I'm very sorry about this. My baby hair just won't stick down. I can do whatever I want to do. It just won't stay down. So I'm really sorry about that. I washed my hair this morning. So that is that. Also, at the end of this video, I will talk about some different things. So if you're interested in books, do stick around for that. And I think we can get started. I have a few finished objects to show you and I'm very excited about them. One of them is my massive blanket. Yes, I finally finished it and I'm so happy because it is so warm and cozy and perfect for winter over another blanket. And it is absolutely humongous. I didn't realize how big it actually is only after I cast it off. So I put it on our 2 beds. We have 2 single beds pushed together and it spans the whole way across our 2 beds, which is crazy. So if you don't know, I have started making a blanket last year in April, so this has been going on for a while now, and the goal for this was to just use up as much as acrylic yarn as possible that I have in my stash. I still have quite a lot more because I couldn't fit everything in this blanket, otherwise I would have had loads of white stripes, and I didn't want that if white is basically the whole width. There's like 3 colours combined, and I'm very happy about it. Also, for every single colour I wanted to do a different stitch. That was kind of the rules that I set myself, so I'm gonna show you now. Starts here with yellow, goes over to green, then we have blue, then we go to pink, white, and last time I finished off here, and this is what I did since then from here to here. I am really glad I finished this. This is completely, I didn't use any pattern for it. It was just casting it on a whim. I bought a really long cable. I think it's 150 centimeters long. I could be wrong on that, but a really long cable. And I worked with 6mm needles. I wanted to hold the yarn double so it would go by quicker, and I'm really glad I did. Also, I do have different yarn weights in this blanket. For example, this section here is just so thick and I did hold it double, and that was a huge mistake because now it's like puckering a lot, you can see here. So I want to wash this eventually, but because of the width I don't quite know how it would be best to dry it, because I only have one of those clothing dry things. So I have to see. I've not washed it yet. I might do that even in summer so it will dry quicker, because then I can just leave it in the sun and I don't have to worry about it shrinking or anything because it's acrylic yarn and I'm not really bothered about this. Apart from that, I did have a lot of fun using different kinds of stitches. The only thing I have to say, I really don't enjoy purling. And with this being worked flat, there was a lot of purling for some rows, especially for example this pink here. You have these purl bumps, so this section in between you would have to purl all of them on the other side. So that was no fun at all, but I did it and I'm really happy about this. And it's so big and cozy, and I think this is gonna be a sofa blanket and not like a bed duvet cover, because it's just so bright and colourful. So that was my first finished object. Really happy about this. Finally done after like 9 months of working on it. The second finished object is also something I've been working on for a while, and I really don't know why. It is my Sunday sweater by Petite knit. I used 2 strands of brushed alpaca silk by Drops in this really nice burgundy red, and I kind of hate it. I don't know, I'm not sure about it. I cast this on because I wanted something quick. You work on 7mm needles, and I had this yarn in my stash for over a year now, and I just really want to get rid of it because I didn't know what to do with it. So I started this project. Sorry, my hair is all over it because I've been wearing it. I started this project, and last time I only had like half a sleeve, so now I have 2 sleeves and the body. I have to say, so a few things why I'm not super happy about it. The first thing is, it is too short. I cast off the arms way too early because I did expect it to grow because it's alpaca, and I know alpaca grows quite a lot with blocking. So I really just counted on that, and it didn't grow as much as I hoped it would. So it is quite short. I can put it on for you actually. Put this on. I know it looks a bit strange with my Kuta tee underneath, but oh well. So this is what it looks like. I didn't do the balloon sleeves just because I didn't want to. I did decrease the sleeve twice, I think. I have it all in my Ravelry notes if you're interested in that, also what the colour is called. I really can't remember. I think it's called 44, something like that. You have to check that out. But I did make everything like the pattern said I should do for the cuff. So I have 32 stitches for the cuff, and worked on 5mm needles for the ribbing. And the ribbing, can you see that? It's just as long as the actual sleeve. So it completely lost its tightness to cinch it in, and yeah, it is too short. It only grew by, I think, an inch or 2 inches maybe. It really didn't grow a lot. The other thing is the body is actually fine. I quite like the length. It is cropped on me. I have high-waisted jeans here. The length for the body is actually, oops, my knees, sorry about that, is actually fine, but there are no short rows. So it does this thing, I can see here. I mean, let me fold the collar down from my shirt. It sits at a very awkward place. So in the back, because it has no short rows, it's quite low, and at the front it's underneath my throat, so it kind of gives you this straight line here but around bottom at the back, and I really don't like that because it also makes the back shorter, and I really wish there was some short rows in this. I was contemplating putting some in myself, and then I didn't because I thought, it's going to be fine, it's going to be oversized anyway and I'm just going to like it. As it is, huge mistake. I really wish I did that. Yeah, it is very lightweight. Let me take this off again. Ow. It is very lightweight, and the reason why I wanted to make a sweater with it, maybe I should have made a cardigan with it, might have looked better. Where's the front here? I had this colour in my stash for a while, and last year I sewed a really lovely dress, and it's one of my favourite dresses that I've made so far. I've worn it on my podcast once in summer. It's like a really dark purple colour, and I thought this would go really well with it because it's gonna be cropped and it's gonna have long sleeves, so when I'm cold with the dress this would be great. on top, but because it's too short on the cuff, I don't want to rip it out, because alpaca double-stranded, ripping it out is really difficult, just like mohair. So what I could do is I could just go in and pick up some stitches and knit longer, but then it might look weird if the cuff is like this long. I really don't know what to do with it. The pattern itself was very easy to understand, but like I said, I wish there were some short rows in it to help with that, and I wish I made it bigger, like not bigger in size but longer, let's put it that way, longer. The same thing with the short rows I also had with my kuta tee, and I didn't talk about this last time because I only finished it last time. This is what it looks like. I think it really looks amazing on as a t-shirt. I did block it a bit strange because you have this bump here. I hope I can go in with like a steamer and flatten it. Can have it on both arms, but the pattern did suggest some short rows. You didn't have to do them, and I really wish I did them, just like with the sweater, because this one actually had the option and I thought it's gonna be fine, and it's not fine. So guys, if you have the option to put some short rows in that have already been calculated and everything, and you don't have to think about it yourself, please do them, because they are so invaluable and make the fit just 10 times better. That is a little tip from me. The last finished object is this sock. This is it's called like something like Red Nose sock by Larry Knits. I talked about this many times before now as well. I have finally finished it. I've not put in the eyes or the red bubbled nose because I really don't like it. The fit is actually alright in the end. I've not washed this yet. The yarn was strange to work with. I used Lana Grossa Meilenweit in the colour 1323 is the red, then just some white, some browny colour here, and then some light grey up here. You can't really see that zigzag, which I'm quite sad about. I had so many issues with this. I didn't make the heel like the pattern suggested because I just really like the heel flap and gusset construction. I think it fits really well. I've not done a different one yet, and so I kind of used the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern for just a standard vanilla sock to make that, and for some reason I had too many stitches down here and it was very wide. I decreased even more than what I was supposed to because it was so wide. I mean, this looks huge, but it actually fits alright, which I am surprised at because it didn't look right. So I don't think I will make a second sock. I don't really like to have like unfinished projects, which to me this is kind of an unfinished one because you need 2 socks to have a pair. And the colour work is also too tight. I don't know if that was my fault or what went wrong, if it's the yarn maybe, or if I should just wash it and I could stretch it, but this has so many floats in the back. I didn't even weave in the ends because I knew I wouldn't want to make a second one, but look at those floats in the back. They are so tight and I have big issues trying to get this over my heel, and that's also why I don't really like to wear it. It's actually not as high, like as long on the foot as I thought it would be, which is kind of good because looking at it I thought it would be more like a stocking and I didn't want that, or like a knee-high sock, and I thought it would slide down, but because the colour work is so tight it stays in place on my foot or like my leg. So that's fine. I would recommend this pattern if you like the colour work. I would suggest, if you really want to make it, maybe use your own numbers that you know will work for you, or even a yarn that you know works really well for colour work or for socks. and then tried. Also, the top has got a twisted rib. First of all, this was a pain to make, and second of all, I actually don't like the look of it. I wish I would just have made a standard rib, or maybe a 2x2 one, or 2x1 rib, because this is very tight to get over my leg. But anyway, those were all of my finished objects. Quite a lot, if I do say so myself. I put a lot of work in, even though I don't really have the time because of uni. But let's have a sip of tea for my throat, and we can get into whips. I'm drinking my usual Yorkshire tea with milk. Very nice. So, what do we start with? I'm not going to show you all of the whips that I have. I'm just going to show you the ones I worked on, and that you can see I made some progress on it. So the first thing is my Cargill. It's still not done, I know. I really don't know how far I've come. I just need a bit further on the sleeve. That is all I did. I think last time I just started it, or did like 2 repeats or something like that. But I've got a tiny sleeve. It looks really good. I still not fixed the collar, but I have finished the body. Nah, I'll have this yarn. I need to cut this off. Oops. I finished the body, and I came to really like tubular cast-offs, which is very strange because it takes a long time to do, and you have a lot of like yarn flying around. But I think it actually looks really good. This is what it looks like. I tried it on and it looks so good on. I really can't wait to have this finished. I don't know when I'm gonna finish this, because I am bang on the sleeve island with almost all of my projects, and sleeves in a pattern are not my favourite. Sleeves in general are not my favourite, but this is taking forever, even though it is a small circumference and you do go through the rows quicker. I don't know what it is, I really don't. But to refresh your mind, I'm working with Sunday by Sandnesgarn in a very light, what is this, purple, lavender colour, something like that. Hello? No, doesn't want to focus. And then I work with a darker mohair by Drops Kid Silk. So these two I'm holding together to create this fabric. I'm on a purple roll right now, I have to say that. And this is what it looks like. I was thinking about making it short sleeved just to help me with the sleeve issue, but I'm not gonna wear a mohair wool t-shirt on its own. Like, this is 100% merino wool, and that's fine, but with mohair it's just super thick, and especially this mohair is really itchy for me, so I'm trying not to work with it anymore, especially not with like in the t-shirt to be next to skin, because I can always have a t-shirt underneath this. So that's my first whip. Again, I don't know when I'm gonna finish this. I do want to work on it, but I kind of lost steam on it. I do want to have the finished project, but I can't be bothered working on it anymore. Is this bad? Am I a bad knitter? I don't know. Let's move on. Got nothing behind me. And where's the bag? Oh, here. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place because I had to move. The next project is Dreams of Aran. You've seen this a million times now as well. You can check out my older episodes if you want to know more about it. I'm currently on the sleeves, surprise surprise, and I actually started it. This is a free pattern by Drops Design. and I had huge troubles with this design from the get-go. I had a lot of troubles with, so you start with the body and then you make the sleeves, and the sleeves are kind of like saddle shoulder sleeves, and this is, I'm working on one sleeve right now. I had to rip this back. I was this far about a week ago, and then I had to rip it all out because the cuff was just way too wide. I don't know where they get the measurements from, but it just didn't fit at all. So I removed the, I ripped it all out, and I opted for just a normal 1x1 cuff. You're supposed to have like a garter stitch, then the 1x1 ribbing, and then 2 or 4 more garter stitch rows. That just does not fit. I don't know why. I think it looked really good, but you completely lost the stretchiness from the cuff that you want. So this is what it looks like. You have some cables here, 4 in total of these, and then you have this massive, I think this is a horseshoe cable in the middle. You are supposed to work with moss stitch in between, but because it didn't fit, I had to completely remove that, and I had to take out some of the pearl stitches. So you're supposed to have 4 pearl stitches in between the cables, and I had to reduce that down to 3, I think, because it was just too big. So this is what I'm working on right now. It's a great underground project, I have to say. It's very small, it's almost like a sock, but I really do have to start increasing. I've made some increases here already, but I need to be a bit quicker, I think, because this is already on the forearm here. I'm making this for my boyfriend, but he's kind of similar in size like me. So if you have it like this, I really need to start increasing a bit quicker. This is what I've come so far with, and I'm using Drops Alaska, is it color 55? 44, sorry, color 44. I have all of my yarns stashed in here in this see-through bag, because this is kind of the yarn that I'm working on with right now. So you can see here the Sunday that I use for my Cargill. Here is the grey yarn I'm using for my boyfriend's sweater, and then the brushed alpaca. Anyway, no one really cares about that. I'm sorry. So 55, color 55. It's a very pleasant yarn. I really like it. I bought a lot more of it last year, and I think it's a very good 100% wool affordable yarn. It's just great. I don't know why, it's not too rustic, but it's not too smooth either, and the color selection is very good as well. So I'm storing this in my lovely bag, and now we are on to new things. Because I got a bit bored of the things that I have on my needles, I know, bad knitter again, I'm sorry. I really wanted to cast on new things, so I did, because I cast off 3 things out of my 7 whips I had, or 6 last time. So I thought I could treat myself, and I did, and I'm really happy with it. I started the Ingrid sweater by Petite knit. I wanted to start this project for a while, and I finally did, and this is what it looks like. I have joined in the round. This is the back. It looks gorgeous. It looks so good. I am so happy with this pattern. I would recommend it to anyone. It is so much fun, and this is only about a week's progress. So I cast this on not even a week ago. I think it was last weekend. So what you do is you start off with the back, and you kind of knit the back. The charts are really easy to understand. She also has some support videos on it. I didn't really have to use them yet, so that's all good. So you knit the back until the armholes here, and then you pick up for the front sections, left shoulder and right shoulder, left and right, and you knit the chart, and then you're joining around here. And now I'm currently on the body. This is going by quite fast, or it did at least, but now with the body it is a lot of stitches and it is a long way to purl, because you do have purl rows in between, especially here you can see the pearls. It's a long way, but I'm really enjoying it. I am using We Are Knitters Merifine, I think it is, in this mauve. I can't pronounce this colour. I'm gonna put it here or here, what the colour's name is. You can also check out my Ravelry for that again, because I do put all of those things in my projects thingies. Notes, that's what it's called, notes. This yarn is very pleasant to knit with. The colour is, I think it looked better when I bought it. I like it, don't get me wrong, I like it, but I think it's a bit strange with my skin colour because I am so pale. It looks a bit like it's some kind of meaty colour instead of leaning on a pinky browny colour. But I'm still really happy with how this is turning out. I did make a mistake though. This here, this section, this is a 2x2 rib. I was supposed to repeat it 11 times and I read the pattern wrong, and I also had to go back on the back side and fix that as well. So instead of repeating it 11 times, I only got 11 rows. I'm supposed to have 22 rows. So this is a bit shorter, but oh well. I don't think you can really see that, or it's very, like, it looks wrong on the eye. I think it looks fine. You have this repeat once more further down the bottom. So you have these faux cables here again, and then I think you have this repeat again, and you have a different number for this one as well. I think you're supposed to repeat it 9 times. So I might make that longer because I am essentially missing 11 rows for this sweater, but this is gonna be oversized anyway, so I'm sure I can just remove something and add something somewhere else and then it's gonna be fine. The only thing that I have a bit of an issue with this pattern, it is very easy to understand so far. I know a lot of people have troubles with the sleeves. I'm not there yet. I might start them when I run out of this ball of yarn, so I don't have a million strands. But the only problem that I have with this pattern is you have a lot of ends. And I didn't make the neckline yet because I wanted to show you. This is the mess that we have. We have an end, 2 ends here, 1 here, 2 here, and that's just on one side. And then some more here. I did weave in 2 already because I was knitting them together, so in the work itself, and that's fine, but I'm pretty sure you could reduce the amount of ends you have or figure out a better way. I understand the construction, but that is just me. Maybe I'm in the wrong, I don't know, but it is a bit annoying because now I have to weave in all of those ends before I can even kind of start with the sleeves or start with the neckline because of all of those. That is the only thing that I have with this, like the only issue, and I'm really looking forward to finishing it. It looks incredible. I am so happy with it. The yarn is also very nice. I have caked up all of them. I have a massive basket of yarn here. I've caked up all of them. Oh. I just realized I only have 3 cakes left. And then I have 2 more to wind up. Is that gonna be enough? I am supposed to have enough yarn for this project, but this is already, I think I bought 10. If I have 4 more, then I have 4, no. Eh? I don't know, I have to figure that out, but I just realized I'm a bit low on yarn. I hope it's gonna be enough, because I didn't want to buy more of the We Are Knitters yarn. I just wanted to get them out of my stash. I need to have a look at that later. Anyway, put this back. Ouch. So the last whip that I have to show you after this kind of size tracking thing is I started a Lento. The Let's Lento knit along is currently floating around everywhere on the internet, and I decided I also want to participate in it. I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to at the beginning, but then I thought, why not? I do have some yarn for it, and it looks incredible, and I'm so happy that I started it. It's on very small needles. No, not very small needles, on a very small cable, so excuse that, but this is what it looks like. It is gorgeous. I only started this a few days ago, and it looks so nice. It's so nice to work on, and it's a great evening project. The yarn that I'm using is Filcolana Tilia. This is also a yarn acquisition. I had to go and buy some in this really gorgeous color. This is color 324, something like amethyst, I think it's called. This is so pleasant to work with. I'm gonna get more into detail in that in my acquisitions part, but the other yarn that I have is this beauty. This is Birdstreet Yarn's Mary Berry in a DK weight base. I bought this just before Christmas, or in November, something like that, and it's absolutely incredible. I did want to hold this single so I could really let the colours shine, but I did like a little gauge swatch for the Lento, because for the Lento you're supposed to hold a fingering and a lace weight, I think, together, and then you work on 6mm needles, so you have quite an open sweater and a loose gauge, and I really didn't like how it turned out. For me it was too loose, so I thought I would just go and buy some mohair. I had 3 hanks, can't talk anymore, 3 hanks of this, so in total I have about 700 meters. And I just bought the equivalent of that in my of the mohair, and this is how it's turning out. It is so nice. It's a bit more ready than it is in real life. It's a lot darker, but this is everything that I love. In last week's video I talked about my New Year's resolutions. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. And I talked about that I really want to find my style, and I found my style in this yarn. I found all of the colours that I really love without even realising. So in this yarn you have the obvious colours like deep purples and pinks. It's a lot brighter than it actually is. But you also have like black and grey, white, and in a few of them, I don't know if the camera would pick this up at all. Probably not, no. But this is a very dark orange. And I really like rustic yarns as well. I think they also suit me quite well. And this yarn has just all of the colours in it that I really like, apart from dark blue. I also really like blue, but I think those might actually suit me better. So if you haven't noticed yet, I definitely have, my stash is a lot more pink, even though I was never really a pink person when I was younger. Anyway, this is knitting up really quickly. I'm almost at the point where you split for sleeves. I think I have a few more rounds to go. And I can't wait for this. I do hope I have enough yarn. I'm knitting the smallest size because I don't have enough yarn, but I think it's going to turn out great. So that is going to be my entry to the Let's Lento knit along, hosted by Rebecca from the Creative Bear podcast and Amy Palco, I think. And I absolutely love it. I would recommend this pattern to anyone who just has some special yarn, who wants to also maybe have something simple in their wardrobe and get rid of some yarn. This is definitely the project for it. So those were all of my whips. Now we are getting into yarn acquisitions, and I do have already mentioned one is the Filcolana Tilia in this really nice dark purple, and I bought some more because in my resolutions video I was also talking about mohair. I wanted to try different mohair because Drops Kid Silk is really itchy to me, and I want to know if it's the mohair that I'm sensitive to, or if it's just me. So this is Filcolana Tilia again. So this is the color 363. This is called something like caramel, I think, or camel. I really can't remember. But this is gorgeous. The only problem is in the shop they didn't have enough, and the reason why I bought this was because what did I buy this for? Oh yeah, I remember. Sorry, I had a little of a brain fart moment. I bought this because I wanted to pair this with my World of Wool yarn that I have. Again, check out last week's video, I have it there. I want to make the Dornie sweater for it. That is what it comes down to. I want to make the Dornie sweater by Rebecca from the Creative Bear podcast. It's her latest release, and it is a cable knit, and I do have yarn for it, but you have to, the yarn gauge is an Aran weight or worsted, and I have a DK weight, so I thought I would just pair it with mohair to get the really nice fluff that mohair tends to give, and that is why I bought it. Now they didn't have enough, like I said, so I only bought the 2 that they had. I'm just waiting for them to restock. I don't know when that's gonna be. I don't know how often they get yarn delivery, but I plan on buying a lot of this because I have bought this yarn. This is Filcolana Arwetta. Filcolana Arwetta, and this is the color 363 as well. This is also called caramel, and I think this is also called caramel, and they are just a perfect match. I mean, they are from the same company, they have the same color code, so of course they would match perfectly. But I didn't actually buy this for this. I only realized that these go perfectly together when I came home, because the plan was, take this, to pair this with this. I didn't have this mohair with me when I went to the shop. I kind of knew what it would look like. They didn't have this exact color either, so I just tried to remember what it looked like. Didn't go very well, as you can see. This is Tin Silk Mohair by Sandnesgarn in the colour 3041, and I had this in my stash for a while now, and I want to make the Stockholm sweater by Petite knit with it. Now, I wanted to use this yarn, but as you can tell, it really doesn't go well together at all. I did a little gauge swatch, and you can really see that these are completely different colours. So what I didn't want to do was buy more yarn, but I think I'm gonna have to, because this is a perfect match for this. So I have a sweater quantities of this Arwetta and 2 balls of this, so I could make the Stockholm sweater like that. I just save this for another time. I wanted to get the Arwetta that kind of matches this. I still have to eye it because I looked on it online, and I had the two colours that I thought would go well in my hands, and then I decided I wanted something a bit more caramelly like, and of course it's wrong. So that is kind of a dilemma that I have, because I wanted to make the Stockholm sweater because I think it's a really great fit. I want something oversized but fluffy, and winter is slowly coming to an end. We're not quite there yet, but I am craving summer garments. I mean, we're already in February now. It's gonna be hot in April for us. It's gonna be boiling in April. So I really don't have long left for winter designs or winter garments to make. So I might have to leave this for when it gets cooler again. Which makes me sad, because I really wanted to work with this yarn because I heard so many good things about it. But these are my two yarn acquisitions. And then I got two books. I bought these a month ago, but they took ages to get delivered. And the first one is The Art of Circular Yokes. This is what it looks like. This is by Carrie Bogut. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I wanted to get a book to learn about how you design circular yokes, because I love colour work and I really like lace work, so I want to design my own things, and this book is perfect for that. It also has some knitting, some patterns in the back, but I don't think I'm gonna make anything from in here because I'm not too keen on the patterns. I mainly bought it for... Oh, can you see that? Probably not. These kind of things are on the back. This is also a pattern you can get. They're not really my style, and I really just wanted to know the theory about it behind it, and I'm a bit bummed because this is only talking about it in the first 29 pages. So was it really worth buying when the information that I actually needed was at the very front of the book? I don't know. But I'm still glad that I bought the book, and I know now how to make this. And the second book, which I am really excited about, is the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. I've heard so many things about this. I really wanted the book. This one was the one that took forever to come because I think because of Corona there are still major delivery issues, and with everything else going on. But if you're not familiar with it, you get loads of like stitch patterns, and it's incredible. I already want to make so many of it that are in here. Like, look how gorgeous these are. Really can't wait to try them out. I have a lot of ideas and I'm really happy that I have it. So those were all of my acquisitions / yarn acquisitions. If you are not interested in the next bit where I talk about my books that I'm reading or that I have read, then I hope you have a good weekend whenever you're gonna watch this, and I hope you will join me again next time. So let's get into books. The reason why I'm doing books is because Sarah, one of my lovely viewers, has asked me if I would like to talk about them in my next episode. And of course, because I love reading and I love books, so this is just perfect for me. If you don't know, I have read 100 books last year. This is a first for me. I bought Amazon Kindle last April, and it's the best thing I've ever purchased. It is incredible. I have the e-reader, so it's great for commutes. I really like reading because it's quite a long way to uni for me, and you get so many books for the price that you have to pay. I used to purchase the books themselves before, and this has really saved me so much money because I do make, like, it is so worth it for me. if I have my 2 notebooks here so I can tell you a little bit about them. I like to write down what books I read. I used to make a list like this, but as you can see I only have 45 books in here, so I had to then start making a normal list, and I really like to rate them so I know if it was good or not, or if I enjoyed them or not. So these are the books from last year. I don't know if you are interested in the type of books that I'm reading. I really like romance books. I like to have a little bit of spice in them, and I am also quite into the hockey, romance, sports book scene, or mafias. So I know this is very specific. I don't know if that's just me or any of you guys also like to read those things. This year I already read 10 books. These are all from this year. You can have a look. These are all in English. I like to read in English. I don't like to read in German anymore. My favorite book from this year that I have read so far, and I really recommend this one, is This the Season for Revenge. I am really bad with names, as you know, with the pronunciation of the knitting designers, so I don't really know who the authors are. I know what the cover is. I'm a very visual person, but I just cannot remember the names, so I only write down the title. But you will definitely find this one, This the Season for Revenge. It is a 5-star book for me. I absolutely loved it. This also was one of my latest books that I read, and it is about revenge. It is about a girl, or a woman should I say, that has been dumped by her boyfriend. She expected him to, she expected them to get married and had this fantasy of this happy life, but then she realized after she got dumped by him that he's a massive douche, and went on and got involved with his boss. And it's really funny, it's very witty. You have a lot of romantic scenes, a lot of spice scenes, and it is just in general a great book. It's also, there's also not a lot of drama, which I really enjoy, because for me there's nothing worse than having a book where kind of the last third or last quarter of the book is just drama, because she did something stupid or he did something stupid because of a lie that they've been kind of basing their relationship on from the very beginning. And the drama in this book has been kept very short, which I really like, so highly recommend that. And then if we go through my other books, I didn't really have a lot of 5-star books for me. If you're more into the sports / hockey romance scene, that I really recommend Maxim. It is about a hockey player. This was a total 5-star book for me. Also, Sweet Temptation was also really good, and I really enjoyed it. And Blindside. Blindside is about I think it's a college romance. I also really like the marriage of convenience trope, so those are kind of the books that I like to read. And Blindside was a very good book. It is about college, so it is getting a bit weird for me to read them, even though I am still quite young and technically I am still in college. But I like to read a bit more, like, not grown-up things, but people with, like, the characters that they're a bit older. But this was a great book. It's about a man and a woman, and she's very inexperienced with like romance and love and all of that stuff, and he tries to teach her those things, and it is so funny. It also has a lot of spice in it, but you can really see how the characters evolve and how it got less from trying to impress this other boy to like falling in love and trying to figure out their own feelings and all of that stuff. I know this is gonna sound really cheesy, But those are a few books that I really enjoyed. I'm gonna leave some more recommendations down below if you're interested in it. If you would like me to talk more about the books that I read, let me know down below in the comment section. And also let me know if you've read any of those books or any books that you think I should read, because I'm always open to that. I have a huge reading list. I really like to go through Bookstagram on Instagram and see what other people like, what's trendy right now, and what they've been reading. So yeah, let me know about that down below. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have as well a lovely week, a lovely weekend whenever you're gonna watch this. I hope all of the projects are going alright for you. Also, I hope that your life is going very well as well. I know a lot of people are getting sick right now. I hope you're not one of them, and I'm gonna see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications when I upload. Follow me on Instagram. If you're not following me there, head over there and do that, which would mean the world to me. And I'm gonna see you next time. Happy knitting!